I'm looking for a Mandalorian.
You let me know how this sounds.
Our people are scattered
I think that's perfect.
like stars in the galaxy. What are we? What do we stand for?
All right. We're
Getting
gathering.
some Mando action, not just our Mando, but a bunch of Mandos. With all those colors. We got some night owls. We've got some different factions of Mandalorians. So we're starting off crazy.
Oh yeah, really cool to see.
Being a Mandalorian is not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy. That way.
Now, why is Grogu there?
Well, Abby, we both watched the Book of Boba Fett, so we know why Grogu is there, but some people may not know why Grogu is there. So they got some splaining to do for sure with this season of Mando.
Yeah.
And I definitely have some thoughts on the should they or shouldn't they have brought Grogu back. But it actually is nice to see, Mando being a father, because clearly it sounds like, Mando is actually talking to Grogu in a piece of this dialogue that they have.
Mhm.
You'll never be lost. I'm going to Mandalore so that I may be forgiven for my transgressions.
All right. That's
All
maybe a
right.
little bit of a recap of what happened in Boba, but not enough.
Right. Because that happened also. That happened that he was basically expelled from his faction because he took off his mask. She asked him directly, "Have you taken off your mask?" And he answered yes because he was being truthful. And she said, "You are a Mandalorian no more." And he has to set forth on a quest to purify himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
As one does.
Yes. He has to go to Mandalore to be purified in the waters under the I guess the wreckage, basically, because the Empire decimated uh, that uh, that city.
Hmm.
May the force be with you!
This is the way.
There's something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
All right, can we pause it right there?
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Well, no, but that's okay. That's all right. What's up, Trev? I just needed a shout out to Trev real quick.
Hey, thanks for
Appreciate you
joining.
joining us today.
Yeah, he has to be
S-
baptized.
yeah.
Going for a little bit.
So there was a lot that happened in that little piece that we just watched.
Hmm.
We got a shot of Dr. Pershing in Coruscant, which I gotta say, when I saw that, I was like, "What?" there was some stuff I was like, "What?" when I watched this trailer. Were you surprised that they took us, or that they are taking us to Coruscant?
Yeah, I'm surprised with how many different things they showed in this trailer. It made me really excited because I was like, "Oh my god, we're seeing all of this." But I was like, "Huh?" Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got Carson Teva, who was basically he's a representative from the New Republic, and he tried to recruit, um, you know, uh, Gina Carano's character over to his side because something is happening. They don't know what it is. There's a big mystery about it. I'm sure we all know, the what this is, leading up to. But who do you think that Carson Teva is talking to in that? Because it's not Mando. They try to make it look like it's Mando, but it ain't Mando that he's talking to. Who do you think he's talking to in this clip?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. Who do you have a theory?
I do have a theory. I have a feeling it's my favorite character from Andor. I think it might be Mon Mothma.
Oh, interesting. Now, why do you think that?
Well, I mean, the words that he's saying is, by the time that, this thing that we're worried about basically happens, it's going to be too late. That feels like it's right up Mon Mothma's alley. Because remember, the time period that we're in, the New Republic has basically, gotten rid of their weapons and that type of stuff. So they're not going to be ready, for what's going to happen if the First Order reforms, if that's what they're going to be doing, and I'm sure that that's probably what they're going to be doing, with this. So what do you think about that? If you don't think it's maybe Mon Mothma, who else do you think it could be that he's talking to?
Huh. Now that you say that, I can see it in just what he said. That is up her alley. Let me see. Yeah, they're getting rid of the weapons. Yeah, I didn't even think of who it was. So it could be her for all I know. I guess we'll see. But I guess my original thought was Mando. But I think you're right, or you're on the right path.
Well, I mean, could it be Mando? It could, but why would he be talking to a guy that basically is a fugitive? Because remember the times that he's run into Mando, he's basically been chasing after him. So it kind of doesn't make sense for him to be having that conversation with Mando. It could be Grief Karga, but also he's a magistrate at this point. I don't know if it necessarily makes sense for him to be talking to him either. He's got to be talking to somebody that's got a little bit more pull. And it does make sense that it could be Mon Mothma at this time in history. And,
Yeah.
and you froze it right at Order 66. Wow. So we're going to get a little bit more of Order 66. And somebody's trying to get in to get Grogu. Who do you think is on the other side of the door?
Oh shit. I don't know. I guess I'm wondering if we really need to see this. It's always exciting, but they've given us quite a few snippets of Order 66 in the past year or so. So I was like, oh, they're pulling on this again. But it is still cool. That's a good question of who's behind that door.
Well, as far as on the other side of the door, it's probably troopers. I don't know if they're going to necessarily give us Anakin in this. It would be cool to see Hayden if they do it, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
I don't know if I need that.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to do that per se. They may for the member berries. They don't. I'm sure they don't have any shame at this point, just throwing whoever, in front of us. But I wonder if we're just going to get who actually rescued Grogu. At this point. And I think that would be a nice little nugget to get. And Justin, it's not going to be Reva. Get out of here. It's not going to be Reva. If I actually saw Reva and she was the one that rescued Grogu, you may hear a scream. If you actually watch this show, you may hear a scream. And you'd be like, is that Felicity? What the hell? But yeah, we're at least I'm talking. I'm talking a ton, but we can let the rest of it
Yeah.
play.
Hang on, kid. This is the way.
All right. March 1st is really soon. I didn't realize that. So I think I might have to do a little rewatch in the
All
next 2
right.
weeks.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, if you want to do that, I think that would be a good idea. It's been a while since I've watched Mando,
Yeah.
so I definitely be down for that. And I gotta say, I was unexpectedly really hyped after this trailer. Uh, I and that's not like me. That is not like me, and I am I'm kind of scared right now. I'm kind of scared right now because I'm this excited after watching this trailer. I feel like they're going to disappoint me somehow in the show. How did you feel about the trailer?
Yeah, I feel conflicted because initially I was very excited too. I was like, let's go, let's get hyped. I'm ready. But now upon rewatching it, I'm a little bit hesitant. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're going to give us, but with recent Star Wars, there's always a hesitancy, but also just some of the decisions that they've made. Like, it just feels weird for Grogu to be there in the first place, because that's just so different than what we expected to get in season 3. That wasn't what I was preparing myself for, and just I don't know. It feels there's a lot going on, and that could go really good, but it could go really bad. So as always, I hope it's really good, and it's Mando, so it's got to be. But how much faith do I have in Star Wars right now? You know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm usually that person. But for some reason, because Mandalorian is probably the only thing of Disney Star Wars that I've actually really, really liked that they've put out. Yeah, I like Tales of the Jedi, but that's just a little, they're little bits and pieces, of things. I appreciated, a lot of the stuff that they did in Visions, but after that second season of Mandalorian was done, I was like, yeah, they got me. And then all the the bottom fell out of it. But we haven't actually had any of the show in 2 years. So having this trailer be as good as it was for me and hitting, those notes, I was just like, damn it, they got me right now. I'm just like, what the hell is happening here? What's up, Brian Stone?
Hey, thanks for joining.
So let's hit the comments a little bit. Trev asked, do you think Grogu is taken by the Empire or rescued by a Jedi? Actually, I think it's both. I think he is rescued by a Jedi, but then he's taken by the Empire. So I think maybe what we're going to end up seeing eventually is that Grogu gets rescued by probably Jocasta Nu, but then eventually does get picked up by the Empire because obviously, they had a hold of him before. So, yeah, I know. I do want to see. I do want to see a Dooku show, Justin. I think they did
something's
good.
happening.
Yeah, I think that they're trying to tell us that in the Bad Batch, which we'll touch on later. Obviously, they didn't mention anything about Dooku in this one, this week. But I think that's an untapped place for them to do some storytelling. I think that they're good at that, like Clone Wars type of storytelling. So I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't be against it. Um, let's see. Yeah, Brian Stone. I bet it's a Jedi then lost, right? Um,
Mm.
you know, let's see. If he was rescued by Jedi and kept safe, he wouldn't have lost that time and his memory. Exactly. Yeah. So I think he got rescued initially from Anakin, because Anakin would. I mean, if he hadn't gotten rescued, Anakin would have gotten him just like he got the other younglings, right?
Mhm.
So he's initially rescued, but then he gets snatched away from whoever gets him. Because I think in canon, Jocasta Nu actually gets killed by Vader at some point. And that's what I've heard. I believe that's like in a comic or something. But I'm not sure what they're going to do there. But I think what they're going to show us is him getting rescued by somebody. So we'll have to see what happens there.
Mhm.
And as far as yeah, I am definitely disappointed that Grogu is back in this season. I think that Mando could have survived a season without Grogu. I think that they needed that time apart to grow. Um, you know, and I think that when they came back together, it would have made it even better. But what I'm hoping is that this is just kind of a, yeah, Disney wanted to, make a little bit more toy money by bringing Grogu back into things, and then maybe they'll separate. Maybe after Mando does whatever he does to kind of bring Mandalore back, maybe Grogu will go back to Luke. At some point, maybe. You know, who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, I'm unexpectedly hyped to see this season, and I'm desperately hoping that they're not going to disappoint me, because I definitely don't want that. I do want my heart broken. Do not rip my heart out with this season of The Mandalorian. So was there anything else that you saw in the trailer that you were like typed on, or that you have questions about?
I think overall, just everything that they showed us got me excited to get back in this universe again, is my overall just feeling after seeing this. I'm excited to see all these little tidbits that they told us, or that they showed us, and unravel this story and see more. But like, damn, it just feels good to see these characters and not be like, why are they here? It's Boba's show.
Oh, so do you think we're going to get a little bit of Boba in this?
I could see it. At first when I watched the trailer, I was looking out for it. But I wouldn't be surprised, I think. But because we've gotten so much of him already, they're developing him. But I don't need it. But we don't know where he's gonna end up.
Yeah, I think that we're at a point, like at a pivot point with Star Wars. And I think if they can bring a lot of people back with this season, then we can, maybe have something to say about whether or not Star Wars is dead. Because a lot of people want to say that Star Wars is dead. But so far on Disney Plus, The Mandalorian has been their most popular show. So if this show fails to do as well as it did, then somebody has a lot of explaining to do. Somebody better be, on their way out the door. Because I think if this show does not do well, then the people that are saying Star Wars is dead might be proven right, unfortunately. No, I'm not over Grogu. What's up, Darth Chaos and Carl?
Hey guys.
I still love Grogu. I hope that they can actually managed to make him his own thing, and not tie him into Yoda and Yaddle. Um, you know, just because he's the only other one of his kind, it doesn't mean he has to be the son of those two. I really would hate that if they made him Yoda's son, because then that would make him another deadbeat dad in Star Wars, and I don't think we need that. Um, I think I'm probably not the only person that thinks that, but um, so no, I'm not over Grogu. I'm not. I don't have googly eyes over Grogu. I love Yoda. Yoda is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. So to see another one of his species, I really was excited to see what they were going to do with that. And again, I hope they don't disappoint me with what kind of storyline they choose to tell. And I don't necessarily need to see Luke. Do you think they're going to try to give us Luke again in this season?
I don't think we need it. I don't know if they'll give it to us, but I think we got enough at this point. I don't want a full show full of Luke right now, So I don't know where that would fit in the story unless, he comes back for Grogu, but I think he's kind of accepted it at this point. So we'll see. But I don't need that this season, at least.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think that they have the yes, because Star Wars is mine. I don't think that they have the right to give us Luke again this season. After what they did with the second season, ending it the way that they did, and then basically overturning it with those few episodes of the Book of Boba. I do not want them to use Luke again in this season. It just doesn't make sense, because obviously they're feeling like, or they're making us feel like he's not a part of the story, at least this season. I think it would be better, since they chose to have Grogu come back this season, to maybe have him go to Luke another time. I think that that's plausible. Although we could see from the trailer that Grogu's obviously learned some tricks with the Force. He was able to overcome the whatever that creature was. I have no idea what that creature was. But he's showing that he can protect himself, at least, at this point in the story. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing. No, Carl, I don't feel like they need to make it a Luke show. And actually, I really, I don't need to see Luke again. Although that's probably not in the cards, because they went out and got Shamook, the guy that, was able to do the Jedi magic to Luke's face and make him look like Luke again. But so I'm sure that they have some plans for Luke, but I don't need to see him again in this show per se. Even if they send Grogu off to him, it could be off screen. It doesn't have to be within the show. I don't think they need that. I mean, I still, to this day, episode 5 of Book of Boba Fett, which is a show I really do hate, but that episode I felt like was some of the best Star Wars that we had gotten to that point. The one that Bryce Dallas Howard directed. There was no Grogu in that. It was a Mando episode in the middle of Book of Boba Fett, but it was great Star Wars. Yeah, I thought that was proof of concept that they could have done a whole season without Grogu, but obviously they didn't feel that way. So we'll have to see. But at this point in time, I cannot wait for March 1st to get here. Will I stay up till 3 a.m. to try and watch it? Probably not. This grown folks got jobs.
I was
But,
waiting for that. This is
Uh,
one I've stopped staying up, but this is one that I might. We'll see. Because I'm pretty excited. I feel like it's one that I hope we'll see how the first few episodes go. But from what we've seen in the past from the Mandalorian, I know that I will enjoy this. And not be angry that I woke up or stayed up for this, you know?
yeah, if it was like a Friday, then yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But a Wednesday in the middle of the week, that's kind of rough. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'll definitely be watching for sure. And you'll definitely hear my comments afterwards. If they disappoint me, there will be no end to the rage.
I have spoken.